was actually scratching a ticket. Can I walk out back?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's just I communicate with that.
not just ghosts. It's not just cryptozoology or aliens. It's all of it.
And what are we doing today, Matt?
Almost like Chewbacca. Like, you guys want to do a little beatbox live? Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Banter with Richie B podcast. I am fired up tonight. I got my friend from Oklahoma sliding in. What's up? Oh, yeah, baby. Hey, I want to welcome everybody. Guess what this is? Guess what this is? This is episode 20. 20! What? I said something earlier. I was like, oh, man, it feels like a decade. But it's just because of the work that goes into it. When you hear like this, I don't remember anything because it goes by so fast because I have so much fun with it. You know what I mean? But no, I'm super stoked, man. I'm super, super stoked. I told you guys about him, and I had a couple of live promos I told you about. Brian Terrell, Red Cryptids, no, Red Dirt. I always mess up the long names. We already know this, okay? Whatever. You'll see it on the slides. And I know somebody already joined his group from here, so that's pretty kick-ass. But anyway, so y'all know Patty Burke. Wally Burke, right? My Burke friends, Wojo. Whoop, whoop. We found that hut, right? And then Patty Burke she's so cool and efficient, you know. She goes online and she's looking around. She's just looking around and she says, "Hey, you got to look at this." And she sends me something from his site. And it's them approaching like a hut. And then he gets around and goes, "Hey, wait a minute, I think we got something here." And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what we did. We were like almost verbatim. It was really strange. So anyways, we reached out to him. Well, we weren't sure. We didn't really know what to do. And I kind of processed it. And then on a whim, I was actually power washing a house. And I'm like, man, I'm going to shoot a message, take a shot. So I was like, and of course, being a cordial, cool guy that he is, he got back to me, you know, and fellow researcher. Ooh, did I hit that button? It was pretty kick-ass. So what we did was we had a StreamYard meeting, and he came in, and then the Burks and Wojo, my team, we all kind of chatted about things, you know, and compared the huts, you know, and we were pretty blown away by them. And what I did today was I kind of put them like this and then enlarged it so you could see the similarities to it. Pretty cool, man. Pretty kick-ass. It's got to be this room. Every time I get in this room, I get like a dry throat. It's really not like a dry room. I don't understand it. Whatever. Deal with me. This is live television. Live. So anyway, so what we're going to do, man, we're going to have some fun tonight. I want you talking on the side. We're going to do some banter. And then I got a little surprise coming. I always get surprises for my guests. You guys know that. So probably around 7:30 or so. And I'm actually gonna bring Brian in so we could say hello to the side. I like doing that now, kind of bring my guests in, and then we could say hi to the side. You guys get an opportunity to say hi to him, not just me. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool. So let's do that. If you got somebody sitting around your house, tell them to get their ass over to some kind of monitor and start watching the show. Okay? Yeah. See how I said that with authority? That's right, Jim. I'm going to do some radio voice tonight, I think. And then what I'll do is I'm going to save the promos for the back end because you've already seen enough of that, right? You're probably tired of me squawking about that shit. So we're going to get our guest right in here. We're going to start talking. We're going to say hi to the side. And at 7:30, stay tuned because we're going to let's see. We're going to pump a little surprise on Brian. And then we're going to start going over the visual evidence and stuff like that. So make sure you are here and ready to go, all right? Go grab yourself some dinner or something if it's late dinner or something, all right? I don't want to hear about how you're hungry, all right? It's not my problem. No, I'm just kidding. Order out, man. You should order out every Tuesday night. Get all your friends together and tell them Banter's on, all right? So, well, without further ado, as they always say, I don't know why anybody says that. This is my new friend, my team's new friend, and fellow researcher that we get to compare. His name is Brian Terrell. Welcome him to the stage, folks. Brian, are you here? Can you hear me?
Hey guys.
Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2. Good to see you, bro.
Man.
Look at your background. Why do I keep messing up your name? I'm sorry. You have too many words and they're really long. And I'm a very slow northerner. So
if I could do it all over again, I would shorten that up to something simple.
You think so? No, I think it's cool, and I think obviously it's from a passion and from your heart, right? Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations. I think I already had somebody said that they joined your group tonight, so that's really kick ass.
Sweet.
I got some solid people, man. I heard a beep. Who was that? Oh, my producer comes in and out, and then whenever you come in and out backstage, it puts a beep off in my ear.
Oh.
So yeah, so when that happens, I'll raise my hand like I'm at a DOT physical.
Technology. Gotta love it.
What you been up to, bro?
Man, I've just been doing work on my car, like I showed you, and got that all done, ready to go. And I'm leaving tomorrow to go on another expedition down in southeastern Oklahoma.
Oh, you're a beast yourself, man. Getting out there, we're gonna get into some stuff. Let's say hi to my friends on the side. I've been dying for them to meet you. I have a lot of really cool people on the side. And they're good friends that now they're like family, really. This is my Andrew. Andrew, say hi. What's up, Andrew? Right? I'll let Brian say hi. Brian, say hi to this one. Oh, what's this?
That does not look like an Andrew.
No, that's not an Andrew. That's a producer. What do you do? Can I help you, producer?
Hey, Andrew, thank you for donating to the cause.
Oh, say hi to Brian.
Hi, Brian.
You can't just come on. Just that's that's Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee. Yeah, she's a miracle worker. Yeah, she spit shines my shoes basically because I walk around looking like shit. I couldn't do nothing without her, man. Like nothing. I'm like, please, I'm a mess. Like I'm trying to learn more technology. What they used to say. What they used to say. Yeah, polish a turd, basically. Yeah, that's the old saying, right? So yeah, so she's trying to walk me through like setting up the slides and all this stuff, and of course we run this, and I'm over here. I see all the the words and everything. I'm like frozen, you know what I mean? But of course she jumps in to save the day. But I'm learning slowly, so obviously she's a very busy human. You know what I mean? I gotta go.
The devil.
Dude, it's brutal. That and money.
It's good to have a professional.
Hey, it is good today, though, Rich. You really did. And Brian, I'll definitely talk to you backstage after the show. I just wanted to say hi to everybody on the side and to thank Andrew for his donation to the Tough Rock. So
the Tough Rock.
Do it.
Yeah, I can pull that up on my promos and show everybody that. Would you like me to save that for the end of the show? You want me to show it now?
Totally up to you. You know how to do it.
Oh, now I'm the boss, huh? All right, fine. Get off my stage. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's awesome, man. She's my producer and a great friend, and we love her dearly. So, Brian, say hi to Courtney for me.
Hey, Courtney.
I think Courtney said she just joined. Oh, well, look at she put it up. Yeah, you know who that is, right, bro? Oh,
I know who that is.
Yeah, you know it, bro. Next week,
man, you're high rolling.
Yeah, he follows you. Yeah, but he's following you, bro. Yeah, take that, Petikoff.
He's following me.
Yeah, he comes after you. Yeah, Brian first, Mr. Petikoff. No, he's such a good dude, man. Have you ever had a chance to talk with this guy?
No.
He's just a solid dude. He's just like busy as hell. And like I said, every time he gets back to me, he's like, "Oh, sorry, I got back to you so late." And I'm like,
man, that guy is working. I mean, he is constantly producing material. I mean, he must live. I'd like to have his frequent flyer miles is all I'm going to say.
Right. Unbelievable. He says he has like an edit room that he basically locks himself in. He just goes to work. That he doesn't come out for, like he said, sometimes days. He goes, I go in there, I come out to sleep, I go back into work. I said, holy jeez, man. He does it all himself. He has control over everything that he does. And as you know, he does an absolute ton of content, and it's quality content, and it's long content. It's not, this is like days and days and days of filming that he has to whoop, you know what I mean? And sometimes he just goes out and does it, and what you see is what he sees, which is mostly what he does.
I admit I watch his stuff, and part of it, I'm just watching for interest, and part of it I'm like, man, I wonder if I could do that in my videos or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really got it going on. Just the way he puts everything together. It just meshes real good. And then whenever, you know, you get it up on the TV, I mean, it just flows.
Oh, he's so good at he's like a mentor of mine. When I got into this and I had my experiences and I turned to documentaries instead of big productions, you know, he was the guy I went to, his boots on the ground in the woods. I was his extra eyes looking through his camera. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted. That's why I wanted that raw feeling. I didn't want that. Oh, let's take a minute. Okay. All right. Cut, paste, you know, put that in there, you know, pretty sunset, you know, no, he was like, that is the sunset. There it is, you know? Pretty kick-ass stuff. So I'm pretty stoked to have him. And that's one of the, this is what we were talking about. I'll do this twice for Bobby Lee because this is pretty kick-ass. Bobby Lee's a veteran and kick-ass veteran, right? And this is her second time I think she's doing a tough ruck. It's 26.2 miles, Brian, with a 60-pound ruck on her back, do like a marathon. She's hiking it.
No.
Yeah, man, for fellow, you know, fallen veterans that are wounded.
I would die.
Oh yeah, right. The invisible wounds, you know, I've had so many friends with PTSD. So make sure you guys donate. Thank you, Andrew, for donating. Wojo donated. You know, no pressure on anybody. Get the word out if you can. If you can't donate, definitely, you know, take a little screenshot and send it out there. You know, she's pretty kick-ass, and we want to make sure we reward her for her hard work. And thank you.
You don't want to make her mad, dude.
No. 60-pound rock, yeah, she can knock your ass out. Hi, Denise. Denise Pax here. Purple Blur, Blurple. Up. Again, Mojo trying to say the nickname. That's funny. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. So listen, any questions you have from Brian about, you know, he's out in Oklahoma. If you have some kind of comparison you want to ask. I know Denise Pack has a lot of things going on around her in Kentucky. Crazy area. Denise, please feel free to chime in, answer questions, ask questions. Brian, what the hell got you into Bigfoot, bro? Was it a personal experience? Was it a TV show? I mean, what was it?
Well,
35 pounds. Sorry.
Oh,
good.
Just 35 pounds.
I got correct. Yeah, it's just 35. Yeah. Wimp.
Well, you know, I'm really not sure. It was like a bunch of little things that kind of got me into it. You know, I think the thing that really got me into it was when I used to do, you know, grocery store refrigeration. That was my trade. And I was at a grocery store down in Oklahoma City metro area. And this dude comes in and he's telling the store manager, he's like, man, there's a bunch of cops down there at the lake. And they just saw, you know, a couple of women joggers just saw a Bigfoot over there, by the lake. And it ran across Highway 66 and disappeared into the woods. And I was just like, what the hell? You know, I mean, and it kind of got my interest perked up. So I was done working. I was just trying to get a signature and get out of there. So I hopped in my service truck and I drove over there. And sure enough, you know, there's these cops and they're out there in the front of this yard. And they've got the homeowners out there, and they're talking to the homeowners. And there's 2 trash cans sitting there. It was you know, those round metal ones with the metal lids that we used to do. It was those kind, yeah. And so this was 1996, and I was just like, what? You know, this can't be legit. I mean, there's cops over here investigating this. And so I kind of go home, and later on that night, you know, I'm sitting around the house, sitting in a recliner, and I'm drinking a beer, and I'm watching the news. That was back when you could trust the news. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, right on.
And they actually talked about this on Channel 9 News. They was talking about it, and they, you know, now they did their whole, you know,
right.
You know how they do. They like to put the little squinty-eyed laugh at you, you know. But they talked about it, and they said, hey, you know, this thing ran up the lake road, jumped across Highway 66, which you guys have probably heard of the famous Highway 66.
Route 66, yeah, sure.
Route 66. It jumps over 66 and into, and they say, Stinchcombe Wildlife Management Area. And I was like, what is that? I never heard of that. So I went out there and I started looking for this wildlife management area, you know. And so I get out there and there's just this big, nasty overgrown, jumbled up area that kind of skirts this river. You know, it's an area that floods from time to time. And so I get out there and I park and hop this fence, and I wasn't trespassing. It was actually public land that had been donated by this family, you know. And so I was out there walking around, and I found tree structures back in 1996. Nobody knew what tree structures were back then, or well, I didn't. I mean, hell, I didn't discover the internet till like
So you excuse me. So you don't know nothing about this stuff. You're just diving into it. You go out there because I'm a structure guy, and I like to poke at people because there's not a lot of structure guys, right? Because it's not scientific, right? So you're out there for the first time, and you look around and you go, man, what do you say? Do you say, do you need thumbs to do that, or that doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that was the best I could come up with. Was tweakers, and but you know, my thought was well, you know,
wait,
maybe
did you say tweakers?
Yeah.
What the hell's it? What do you mean tweakers?
Meth head. Tweaker. We call them tweakers down here.
I know what it was, but you're saying the best I can think of is tweakers are out in the woods making tree structures. That's what you. That's what you meant. That is kick ass. Is everybody here?
I'm telling you, that was the best I come up with at the time. You know, it damn sure wasn't a bunch of Boy Scouts. I could have told you that.
I've never heard that comparison. That's number one right there. Thank you for sharing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
man. Hey, and for the record, tweakers are out in the woods. I have photos. Okay, I can prove that.
They got tents. Oh shit.
Maybe after we get done, I'll send you a text message of a trail cam photo that you can but anyway, you know, so I'm walking around, I'm seeing these tree structures, and my first thought is maybe some tweakers coming out here. Maybe they're throwing some sticks up, maybe they're wrapping a tarp around it, you know. And then whenever they're done, they take the tarp with them. But I'm sitting there like, well, why in the hell would they use so many sticks? This don't make no sense. There's like 10 times more sticks here than what they would need to do the job. Right. You know, and then I'm like, oh, meth make you think weird things. You know? So I was just whatever. And at the time, but see, I didn't know anything about tree strike. I don't think anybody did in 1996. Right. But I was seeing those things down there way back then, and I had no clue what I was looking at. But anyway, fast forward today, you know, Stinchcombe Wildlife Management Area is what I would call a suburban Sasquatch haunt. You know, they slip in because there's like this river and it's all overgrown. They come in along the river, and I think they wait for everything to kind of get dead in town, and then they come in and they raid dumpsters. But there's been dozens and dozens of Bigfoot sightings around Stinchcombe, and it's like it's an ongoing thing. It's still happening to this day. And that place is, and it's right in the middle. Well, it's not in the middle, but it's in the middle of town, really. I mean, it's on the outskirts of Oklahoma City, really. Yeah,
that's mind blowing to me because my place bottlenecks, and there's a sand and gravel pit over here. You hear the machinery going off all day. You got a river that flows through. You got 94 acres, and then you got a bottleneck of street down here with houses on it, and a street down here, and they meet in a corner and that's my house is right near the corner. So when I started having this thing, you know, try to get my attention, it was bottlenecking itself. It had no worries, you know what I mean? And I try to explain to people, and of course, the ones that are, you know, the scientific sense, they're like, yeah, no, there's no Bigfoot there. And I'm like, I'm experiencing it. Well, no, there's too many people around and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, that's not the truth. I'm experienced. Listen, I'm not a tweaker, you know. You think I am a tweaker? When I was a tweaker, I wasn't in the woods.
Your neighbors might be wondering, you know, you're out there screaming at the woods, you know.
Yeah. You've heard that story of me, like, hey, you know, like, I'm like, I was mad at him about not giving me a gift, mad about not eating my cookies. I'm yelling out, and the guy that's next to me is a really nice guy, but he's from like Poland or something, so still has the accent and everything like that, you know. And I'm sure he just was like, whoop, shuts that shade. Like, there he goes again. Yelling out to the
These
woods.
are good cookies, man.
You eat these cookies. Give me my damn friggin' gift. But Denise, don't worry about it. Enjoy the restaurant. Just come back and tell me what you got. I want to know what you're eating.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Robert Murphy.
Robert.
You come in and just say hello to Courtney. Welcome to my house. Good to have you, sir.
Hey.
So that's cool. So when you hi, my friend. How are you? Oh, okay. So when you're at this point now, you're saying it's kind of surrounded. So I can relate with that. And my buddy Mike Trainer has a theory as well about dumpsters and restaurants and kind of in and out type stuff. And we're starting to see more of this stuff. Maybe back then we didn't have the cameras to see it, or we had not as much population, of course, as always, moving them around. Right. They can adjust pretty well. And the one I got growled at by, he was, like I said, no less than 50 yards from me. And I couldn't see nothing. Yeah. I have it on video. You can't see nothing. You can enlarge and go back and forth and scan the whole thing. You can't see nothing. And he had to be right there. That's
Maybe
what made
invisible.
That's the other cloaking thing freaks me out too, bro.
Yeah. I just got another report of that today that I got to go and I'm going to have to go talk to an eyewitness. Him and a girl had one come up out of the river while they were catfishing, and they were like 30 yards apart fishing. They could see each other, and something came up out of the water in between them, and both of them could hear it. Both of them knew, and they couldn't see nothing. See, did I share that story with you? Have you heard me talk about this story? So I have a story. All right. So I'm sold on the humanoid, the primate, the feet, the hands, all that stuff, the flesh and blood, the missing link, all that stuff, right? I'm all about it, right? The bridge, and crossing over, and I'm not into Gigantopithecus. It's way too intelligent for that. I don't believe that, not one bit. I believe in the giants. If you read the history of humans, that if dinosaurs were big, why weren't we, right? So I think there's some kind of a crossbreed that actually made it smaller. So that's how I feel. That's where my beliefs are at. You know what I mean? Those are mine. And it's a theory or a hypothesis. I like to think it's an educated guess, right? Because I'm out here researching, learning shit. And anyway, right, exactly. So I go out to the end of my game trail. I'm standing here with my daughter, and she's on one side of this tree. I'm on this other side. We're on this big moss clump. And we're standing there, and I was a paranormal investigator for years. So you always ask to validate. You don't suggest or give suggestive answers or lead them in any way. You shut your mouth and you go, Riley, yes, Dad. What are you hearing right now? And she goes, Dad, something very big is running right at us, but I can't see it. And I looked at her and I said, head to the game trail and back to the house. And I went out of that path backwards like this. Like just backing up all the way back, because that's what I heard, bro. I heard something big. I didn't hear, and it's weird because I didn't hear the crunching and it's like goosebumps, man. I didn't hear the trees breaking. I didn't hear nothing. I heard pounding sound, as I said. It was pounding, and I heard it, but it wasn't like breaking stuff. And she said verbatim what I was experiencing, bro. Dude, I
don't know. I don't know either. But I can't sit here and go, that one incident makes me think but
you're not alone.
I know I'm not. Yeah.
And when you've got
like a rush, yes.
When you've got all of these reports with these similar characteristics, and they're piling up and they're piling up. I mean, at some point the volume, becomes evidence of a sort.
It does. And that's the point I'm trying to make to people that don't even believe about structures and stuff. And I'm like, first of all, Native Americans use structures to guide and the tribe after them, tell them where the water was. That's why you might see a tree that's kind of bent around or pointing in one direction. And the theory that I have with my team, and I think we might have discussed this a little bit, Wally and Patty and Wojo, and we're out there in the woods and we're seeing all these sticks, big trees broken down, and they're aimed like an arrow. And what I said, we're walking them, and there's deer scat all across, right along the tree that's on the ground. It's like a little ways up, like they're funneling them into a certain direction. And as soon as they stop to think about what they're going to do, because the terrain looks different, so I think a lot of that is they change the terrain so the deer, when it's prancing because it knows everything, has to kind of stop and think, and it slows it down, and it swipes them that's a Native American tactic as well. That's that's nothing new. And if we read our history, we look at this historically, right? How do you feel about the Native Americans and them and their relationship with what they called Sasquatch way before Bigfoot? What do you think of that theory?
Well, they all know. I mean, we've got here in Oklahoma, we've got a lot of Native Americans, but we've got a whole bunch of different tribes all in one area because of that damn relocation stuff.
Yeah.
And
sucks.
Well, and it's led to a lot of bitter resentment, but anyway, they've all got a slightly different twist on them, but they all have stories.
Right.
They all have stories, and they're all a little bit different. Some of the tribes, they think, you leave them alone, they leave you alone. Everybody lives happily ever after. Some of them, they're like, well, we need to protect our women and our children from these things, and some of them are just like, you need to avoid them at all costs, stay out of the woods at night. They got all these rules of thumb, no whistling at night, none of this stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I've heard that. The whistling's big.
Yeah, and but there's a lot of stuff, and honestly, we've got so many different tribes around here. Sometimes I have a hard time remembering which tribes believe in what,
Right.
because they do differ. But all of them, every single one of them, I don't know of a single tribe in Oklahoma that discounts the existence of Sasquatch. They all believe in it, and to the best of my knowledge,
it is known. It is known to them. That's how they would portray it. It's like it's just a thing that they've dealt with.
Yeah, and none of them, to the best of my knowledge, think it's just an ape, just a regular ape.
Yeah, right.
And most of them will tell you it's flesh and blood.
Right.
But we're flesh and blood, and we also have a spirit. There's
energies.
There's a paranormal, part of us. That goes on afterwards. I mean, we're not just flesh and blood; we're more. And I kind of believe they are too. But there's a lot of moving parts in there, and I think what it really boils down to is they're probably really, really smart, maybe even as smart as we are. And on top of it, they never spend all their time and resources developing technology like we did.
Yeah, right.
They didn't need it.
Yeah.
You think about it, all of our technology, I mean, we need technology just to hunt.
Right.
We had to pick up the spear and the bow and the club and all that. They never had to do that. And they are the weapon, Yeah. And because of that freed them up, to spend more time maybe, dwelling on things like, how can I become more at one with nature? How can I hide better? How can I be quieter? Maybe that's a completely different line of technology, like an all natural line of technology that we never took,
No, 100%. And I always think of that too. Like, we talk structures. I love structures, and I've got picture after picture of structures, and they're amazing. Hey, Sam. Hi, David. So I just want to say hi to a couple people that came in. Yep. And what was I going to say? I don't want to miss this question because Courtney asked it. And it's a good question. You care to share about the whistling and the maybe a little bit of the story of remember what did they used to call him? The whistling man or something, the whistling man of the woods or something.
Yeah.
Mojo, you got somewhere to be. What are you doing? Go ahead.
I'm not exactly sure. I think it kind of varies from tribe to tribe, but Bigfoot will whistle, and instead of they'll do their mouth pops, they'll do their whistles. They do these weird. I don't know what you guys have up there, but down here, they'll do this weird mechanical bird call that when you hear it, you're like, that ain't no bird.
Yeah, I did it a couple of weeks ago out with this guy Phil, and I kept going, dude, that's a mimic. I think that's a mimic, dude. That don't sound right. And because it kept moving, but it was moving like not like this through the air. it was moving like if you or I were making noise on the ground.
Right.
And I kept saying, and it's a mimic. But yeah, you're right. So the whistle. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got excited.
No, but you're right, though, because you can usually tell, because when a bird will, first of all, very few birds really chime up at night, and I mean, for the most part, they go kind of dormant because they're not flying around at night. You know, they need to be quiet. They're basically hiding from predators and whatnot. But you know, I mean, so they're not going to do that really as a general rule. But when the bird sounds are coming from ground level, you know, you know something's up there. You know, they're not down on the ground.
And I feel like they can project it as well, though. You know, I feel like they really do. I mean, you got to think of what we're dealing with. If we're dealing with this big creature, right? His lungs must be the size of our torso sometimes. You know what I mean? They're big lungs.
Yeah.
You could probably work magic with bigger lungs. You know what I mean? You know, seriously, look at like Celine Dion. I mean, she must have huge lungs. You know, listen to her, right? I mean, these guys, these guys could probably project all. And people have said when they heard them howl, like close by them, they can feel the reverberation, like right through their bones.
Yeah, I've
like,
never heard that yet, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, I know. I am too. As scared as I'll probably be. I mean, listen. When I go out with a backpack, I have an extra pair of underwear all the time.
I always take extra underwear,
just in case, bro. Like,
wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't take it. Because that's the way Murphy's Law works. It works in reverse. So if you didn't take fresh underwear, Murphy's Law says you would need it.
Yeah, because you know what Murphy's Law is? You worked on your car, and now my car broke down today. No, and I wasn't able to go to work. Yeah, bro, Murphy's Law. See?
Oh, no.
See that? It's because I had underwear on.
Commando all the way. I'm telling you.
All right, folks, what you learned here tonight is if you want to keep Murphy's Law away, just don't wear any underwear and you'll be good. But the whistling comes back from a long time ago. Seriously. The whistling comes back from a long time ago, and you hear the whistle, you get curious, you kind of go out and boom, you're snatched up. That was part of the story I heard.
Yeah.
Was that they were kind of
bait you. I don't know exactly why that is. Maybe they feel like you're trying to impersonate one of them. And then whenever they come in and they're like, well, this ain't a squatch. This is a damn human. You know, maybe they just thump your ass just, just out of spite or something. Or maybe it's, you never know. It might be like a sound that their mama makes when they ring the dinner bell, you know, and they're like, oh, it's time to eat, you know.
You go whistling.
I get there and all there is a fat boy, you know, with a camcorder. It's like, well, it's time to eat. It's time to eat. You know.
Yeah. Guess who's coming for dinner? It's you.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly why that is. I don't think anybody does, but I know that it's something that kind of goes from, multiple tribes. Some tribes they don't say that, but
but mostly I've heard it that it's real.
And you're not supposed to be out after dark,
right?
Especially little kids and stuff like that, because I think the little kids are, you hear stories about them doing that stuff. I don't think it happens as much as what people make out. I mean,
I could have been eaten by a Bigfoot many times because I didn't realize they were there until it was too late. I've been flanked 2 or 3 times. I've heard them talk, have conversation back and forth, like the Sierra Sounds.
If you was hearing that, they could have got you.
I'm dead right there. I did. I heard it with a reporter from the BFRO and co-founder of Squatchachusetts, Dave McCullough. He was standing right next to me when they started talking, and his mouth was on the ground, and he was like, "Maybe it's time for us to go." And I'm over here going, "Well, shouldn't we hug him first?" You know what I mean? Like, I'm, but I wanted to keep, but I wanted to keep the respect of them too, because I feel I have a connection with them. And a lot of people will say that, like, you go to your area, do you feel like you have a connection with them?
Well, that's something that we've been talking about within our group lately. We've decided that instead of bouncing around and just going to all these different places, that we recently decided that we needed to focus on just, to pick like 3 spots and just hammer them. For the sole purpose of the fact that we need to become, a common sight for them, and they get comfortable, because the more they see us, the more likely it is, they're gonna, hang out with us a little too long, or maybe do some vocals or something like that, you know.
Yep.
But you know, we were just going all over the place for a long time, you know, and that's what you want to do. You want to go out and find new places, and you know, but we had to narrow it down.
Yeah, I think we're there too, though, bro. I think it's funny because that's the same discussion. Like, you know, I've pounded the dirt out of my property this year and beyond my property, but it's all connected, like I said. And me and Woj and even the Burks have come down, and I've been just pounding that area. And you know, it's funny because you could almost feel, you know, you get that feeling of being watched, but not every time. So I'm always, you know, why wouldn't I feel it every time if I was just freaking myself out? You know what I mean? Because and then of course we run into different things. We check out the different terrain. I've had structures that has been snapped and broken in half, like they were pissed off that I found them. You know, like it's absolutely kooky birds. Who's this? Oh, I get messages. So, but no, it's crazy. So we decided kind of to stay in one area, our area and their area. You know what I mean?
Right.
You remember the Burks and Wojo, right? With the meeting we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, dude, they're a great team. They're great friends of mine. And I wanted to bring them here to say hello to you, my brother.
Hey.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey.
Mr. T, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
So that's my surprise tonight for you, brother. Because I know you got to meet him one time.
Jumped tonight.
Oh, you kind of are. You just said a technology type of jumping. You know what I mean? So,
oh man,
we're harmless.
There's my crew. I miss him. I haven't seen him myself. Is Wally muted? Oh, did I mute you, Wally? No, you muted yourself, Walt.
Yeah, I muted. Yeah, I had gas.
What do you? What?
Yeah, gas.
I had gas.
I thought Patty told you how to get in the backstage. He comes in with the mute on and the thing. I don't know what's going on. It's better when Bobby Lee sends you the link, isn't it? Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Hey, you
how did that work out, Pat?
Worked fine. I'm in.
Yeah, right.
So it's me all this time, right?
Yes, Richie.
It had to be, yeah.
Freaking knew it, man. Son of a bitch. Damn it.
I got no echo.
Yeah, I got no echoes. I'm very happy. So Brian's here, and I know you guys are excited. And the reason why I want to include my people here, my friends, my family, I miss you guys. I truly do. I was talking to Wojo about it. Like, we got to get up there, man. We got to get up and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. Like, fire it up, right? But this was your discovery as well. Who would I be if I didn't share this with you? You know what I mean? This is ours as a team. We walked up to that, right? Right? Yep. Remember that day? Yep. And we were just stunned, right? Yeah. And I go, I'm going in. And Patty goes, are you really?
You really?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, without further ado, let's do something fun. You ready? We're all going to slide up to the side. I don't know how this is going to work. We got a bunch of people here, right? Everybody on the side having fun yet? You know, I'm always doing something. All right, here we go. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. Everybody's here. You see it?
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
Look at that.
I still look great, don't I? Watch this. Oh, where are we? What's this here, Brian? What you got? Looks like a footy.
That's a footprint that Eric found a couple weeks ago. It was still hot in my photos, and so I went ahead and sent it.
Look at that. You see that, Woj?
Yeah.
Look how flat it is. Cool.
Well, and if you zoom in on it and you kind of get a good look at it, you can actually see there's toe definition in there and everything.
Oh no, you could almost see the shadow through the. I always look for the shadow through the grass if I see something like this. And if you look through the grass, you see the little dark holes there, and you can see them almost consecutively. You know what I mean?
Right.
Looks like a right foot, Brian.
Yeah, right foot.
Yeah.
Eric found that. And we just split up. We were going to walk around this marsh area. He was going to go on one side. I was going to go on the other. And he's just like, oh, this looks like a footprint. And the way he said it was just so casual, like it's no big deal. and I was, anyway, so I was like, well, take a few photos of it, you know.
Oh my God, not me. I'm jumping around. Oh, so bad.
Brian, that was on one of your videos, correct?
Yeah,
Richie's tasting it. Yeah, I watched that. That was cool.
Yeah,
we've been watching your videos like crazy. We love them.
Oh, I love your videos, bro. Yeah. So what? All right. So when you found this, you were all just walking, just like.
Well, no, it was just me and Eric on this one. And we ended up getting rained out, but we just kind of split. We was just splitting up, and I'd walked across the creek, and he's just like, well, here's a footprint. This looks like a footprint. And he was just so casual. I just thought it was, like really substandard, and and it just totally wasn't, worth me going over there. And I was just like, well, take a couple photos of it, and so we get done. We ended up giving up and going into town eating Mexican food, which that's always a great idea. And but I was like, hey, send me those photos. And so we're sitting there airdropping stuff back and forth,
That's a good one, dude.
And I'm looking at that and I'm like, holy shit, I wish I'd have gone over there and looked at that, because I
isn't it ironic? This wasn't your first choice to investigate, right? Didn't you get rained out of your first choice and ended up kind of looking over here in the marshy part?
Well, it was actually kind of the same area. Okay. And but the lower area that was close to the river was a little bit lower in elevation, and the roads were pretty rough and muddy. And so we were going to stay there, but we backed up and we went about 1.5 miles back to the west. And there's high ground there, and there's a rock road that goes into it. And we knew that we wasn't going to get stuck if we went there.
Right.
And so we chose the substandard.
I like Wojo.
Yeah.
I got new tires. All right. I'm ready to go.
That was so bad. We're out here ready to eat pizza. Hey, where's Wojo? I don't know. He couldn't have got stuck in that little baby mud. Where were you, Woj? Oh, I got stuck. The whole truck was covered in mud. White truck covered in mud.
Like Brian, like big heavy clumps. It just looked like
the stinky clumps.
It was bad.
Yeah, stinky clumps. Stinky clumps. Oklahoma has a lot of stinky clumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Patty, you know about this video that Brian's talking about right now?
Yeah, they got rained out. Yeah.
Look at this chick, man. She's unbelievable, ain't she? She's all right. So all this goes to knowing Brian goes to Patty. Patty 100% went on there looking with interest and found your site and started watching your videos. And it reminded her probably of a lot like us. We just get out, we do our thing, boots on the ground, kind of raw research, And she's the one who said, hey, we need to look at this. And I'm like, what? Look at what? And then that's when we started seeing the what. I was like, wait a minute. So all this goes to Patty. Patty, thank you. No, seriously, thank you, because this is what being researchers is all about. It's not just about going out in the boots. It's about filing stuff. It's about keeping stuff organized and neat. It's about documenting incidences. Like right now, I got all these scan discs I got to go through. I mean, this is work. I got to put it in here. I got to clip it. I got to see which is which and what is what. And I'm not an editor. I'm not nothing like that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Look, hey, guys, everybody check out his stuff, man, because I've sat there and got caught up watching a few, and I got kids running around everywhere. I'm just like, I put it on the big screen, when I mirror it, and it's really good stuff, and it's good raw stuff, like just us going out. Like if I took somebody out Bigfooting tomorrow, anybody on the side, I take you out tomorrow. That's what his stuff is. It's just unbelievably raw. So, Patty, thank you for doing your due diligence as a kick-ass teammate. Someone who keeps really good clips of sound, by the way, too.
But I will say to the audience that I'll tell you, I watch Brian's videos, and I'll tell you, I totally respect what you do. I respect you. Where I admire how
Thank you.
Just the passion, no nonsense. Like, hey, this is boots on. No bullshit.
And they look at it, logically, and they take it apart and they compare, and they're like, gosh, they have different specialties on their team. I think everyone comes in with a different mindset, and they compare notes and they do it right there. It's just really fun to watch you guys.
Fully validated it when he walked up in 1996 and thought tweakers made a structure.
I'm sorry, I couldn't stop laughing. Tweakers. I mean, I can picture like tops and tents and like, hey, let him make a picture.
That's why I asked him, because of the context. I had to ask him, like, what do you mean? Like, is there another way to use the word tweaker? Because I'm over here like, hey, let's go.
there. What's a tweaker? You know, the meth heads.
I don't know what you guys call it north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Those people. Yeah, we haven't ran into those yet.
No.
Dude, that's unbelievable, man. I think that's just unbelievable. No, that's kick-ass. So I think this is a great story. So when you were looking at this, at the restaurant after, and that's when you were like, oh, shit. Yeah, right?
So, Brian, in this photo, what's the size of this foot?
You know that app, Scanverse, you know?
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, and that thing, if I'd have known it was that good, I would have went over there and scanned the dang thing.
That's right.
That's almost as good.
Scaniverse is amazing.
Yeah, you look like Brian. If you would have crossed, you would have sank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look a little muddy there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a good one. I love that, man. We had one in an unknown location. Wojo and I recently, and I might have some pictures of that I could share. And yeah,
Brian, what's the size in this photo? I mean, I don't have my glasses, but I can't tell that.
It's like 14 or 15 inches.
I was gonna say 15, man. Yeah, that's a big foot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What was the width, Brian?
I don't see it.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, probably about 8 or 9 inches.
Yeah.
Do you have? You should have a measuring device on your phone. You can actually measure it off the picture. I think there's one of those in there. I have one.
You can do that with the Scaniverse, can't you?
You can absolutely 100%, but he doesn't have a scan of it because he was too busy worried about going to get breakfast.
No, because Eric was so nonchalant. Oh, it's just another 15-inch print. Nothing to worry about.
Brian's going up to Bronx, folks.
We find these all the time.
Yeah, it's just, no big deal, right? No, I think that's kick-ass.
The faster we discount this, the faster we get to the Mexican joint.
Right? And now, how long ago was that? How long ago was that investigation?
That was probably, I don't know, a little over a month ago.
That's fairly new.
Yeah. That's why I just kind of threw it in. I threw it in, and
I think Courtney's got it. Courtney's got it right.
Remember, I want to say it was December when we found that hut.
Oh, and wait, we're going there right now. You want to go there right now? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? All right. So listen, here we go. You ready to go there? He said the word. He said the magic word. I'm going. Who's coming? Everybody coming with me?
We're in.
All right. Here we
Drag
go.
it.
She said urine.
Urine.
So this one here is the one.
That's yours.
That's this is my team right here. Wally, Wojo, Patty, and myself walked up upon this.
That does look more impressive the more I look at it.
Isn't it amazing? I just love it. I want to hug it. And I tried to go to every expert I could to try to get advice. You know what I mean? I already put the word shit up. Why are you putting that back up? Jeez, thank you. Thank you, producer. Thank you, Bobby Lee. So this, everybody knows I lay down in this. It's about 8 to 9 feet long with my arms stretched, my toes way out. All the stuff is packed down inside it. I didn't get one leaf or a pine needle stuck to me. To me, that says a lot. You can almost see with the Scaniverse. I have the Scaniverse from the side. You can see the little walls kind of going in where something probably lays there on a regular basis. So this, to me, and my team, I think, we'll tell you. Wally, do you remember how we found this, Wally?
The game trail. Wasn't it in the trees? The broken down. It was almost like they were corralling the deer down that way.
Correct. That was the conversation I was having with Brian a little bit earlier, how we came up with that. Bobby Lee thinks the tweakers did it. Hi, Sydney. Thanks for coming by. Tweakers definitely made it. So like Wally said, we're kind of like following the trail, but we're also watching for breaks and kind of signs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think Wojo says it really good. What happens is we see the big one, right, Woj?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, like we found a tote road, and then we just sat down and it just like took a quick break. And then, I'm like looking, I see these like trees kind of bent over, and Richie's talking. And all of a sudden, Richie's just like, yeah. Hey, what is that? And I said, I'm not the only one that's seeing it. I go, that's not normal. So we all immediately jumped into the woods, and then we just saw these huts.
I don't know if I jumped.
Yeah, no, you fell in the woods.
Well, for Patty,
I fell into the woods.
I got a picture of you falling into the woods.
Yeah, Patty will just roll down the hill. I'm coming. But anyways, Brian, I mean, we all stumbled upon, bent trees, and then we we went down, and then all of a sudden we saw hut after hut after hut, and it was like unnatural. Right. And to see these bands coming from the bottom up and over, being out in the woods all my, most of my life, hunting everywhere. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Right. Yep. And listen, if you're on the side right now,
they're all green.
Right.
They're all
good
still
point.
Green.
Yeah. I just want to tell the side, stick around because you're going to see a comparison.
Yep.
Of the similar type of setup in Oklahoma. Don't go anywhere. It's just a few minutes away. So we want to make sure we stick around because, like Courtney says, Courtney's noticing it's truly how they're bent, right? And like Wally, what were you just saying about it being green, right?
Yeah, it's green. It'll be like a canopy this summer.
Yeah, it stays alive, right? And then Patty, you were here as well. And what was your angle on this whole?
None of them were dead.
Yeah, they're all twisted together. You can tell they're still living. In the summer, I don't know if you'd be able to really see what that was. It would just be a mound of green.
You wouldn't even know. Yeah, that's a great point.
It's perfectly camouflaged.
You wouldn't even know, right?
Yeah.
No. I think because some of these I was learning how to put the slides in, so Bobby Lee doesn't have to do it so much. So I got to buzz back to his, but I think I have to cross over the comparison. So everybody close their eyes so you don't see it, okay? Nobody peeking on the side.
Oh yeah.
Nobody peeking.
No.
Okay. All right. Open your eyes.
Now that's why it looks like a cave. Look at the shadow like inside. It's like perfectly hidden. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Right. It can slide. Now, if you look to the right, it's not bent the same because it's different type of tree, right?
Right.
Because you're in a different type of land. You're in a different place, right? In America. So
was this really wet, Brian? Is this a wet area? Or was this woods?
Not really. I mean, there's a creek that runs through there, but it's not like a marsh or anything. This was a pretty dry area.
Yeah, when you were walking through the leaves, you could hear them. They were crunching. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were crunching like he was walking through potato chips. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was pretty crazy.
So to the audience, like the hut that we showed before, we had pine trees and what have you. Now for Brian, what would you say like the hardwoods over there to make these type of huts?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what those were because the way that one was made, and you can see there on the right, there was like 3 or 4 of these little trees that were like fledgling trees, probably about as big around as your finger or so, like half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. And they were kind of twisted a little bit. It looked like they kind of spun and they spiraled a little bit as they went up and over. And looked like whatever it was had come in there and taken those 3 trees that were growing up in one spot, bent them over, pinned them down somehow. And then they started throwing dead sticks on top on the back.
Right.
And then there was a bunch of leaf litter, and then there was what we call thorny vine.
I can see those.
Yeah, it was all in there, and just like y'all's, ours was right next. We were following this deer trail when Eric turned around, and he's like, because I was bringing up the rear, because I'm filming, and Eric turns around, and he looks at it. We walked right by the thing and didn't even notice it until Eric got past it, turned around and looked, and he's like, whoa, what is that? And I put that in the video, and you can, that's all like, spontaneous, we didn't know what. And at first I thought, that they were like, what is this? What is this? We see stuff all the time, and I'm very skeptical of this kind of stuff because I've seen stuff in the woods. It's natural. I mean, it's as crazy as it is and it's weird. It's still natural a lot of times. And I got down there, I started looking at this, and I'm like, I don't think this is natural.
Right.
But yeah, and I honestly believe that I don't, and it was packed down. You can kind of see in the video that it was, that the leaves and everything were all flattened out, had a bunch of oak leaves in the bottom of it, and I was just like, something has been laying in there.
Right.
And
that's like Oz. Yeah.
Yeah. Something heavy. And I think it's a deer blind or something along that line.
Ambush hut, something like that.
Yeah,
we call it like an ambush hut where you kind of wait for them to come
like
by.
A blind.
Yeah, all you got to do is reach your arm out. You reach your arm out and you're a Bigfoot. Yeah. You snap their legs. It's over.
And you walk right by the thing. I mean, the deer trail that we came up on is right there on the right of that thing.
And that's the same thing we were following, Brian. But they were laying the trees down, so they were blocking, like corralling them towards that way, towards the hut.
And we kept finding
that hut.
Mine's not as big as y'all.
No,
that one is just a little bit smaller than yours.
So Brian,
deeper though.
With like the huts that we found, it was approximately about a mile, actually about a mile and a half into the when we walked into the woods.
Right.
Two things. I mean, for to get into the woods and what have you. How far deep in the woods is this hut? And two, it looks like the sun's directly facing into the entrance, and I have a theory on that. But I want to hear your answers first before I continue.
Well, I would say that thing is actually facing more towards the west. Slightly at an angle. I would say it would be west by southwest would be the direction it was pointing. And it was not really that far into the woods. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, about 300 yards off of a road.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's in there a little ways, but hell, you could be there in just a couple of minutes off the road.
Well, the reason why I ask is like the huts that by Wally and Patty, it seems like the sun direction, because the entrance is faced east and west. Okay. But the direction of the sun comes up and over, so when they're in there, in these huts, it just seems like they get sunlight, maybe for warmth or whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's just a theory, I'm guessing. You think like something like that.
So you're laying on a cold ground too.
Yeah. Right, and I think the angle that Brian described, if you think about it, you would get more time with the sun if you're in an angle as opposed to trying to be directly at it. Because once it
facing west,
changes to 12:05,
exactly.
Right? So if you're in a little bit of an angle, you get different time, different time zones.
Because
basically,
I have Star Trek, and the huts that we found, it's not a complete direct over, but it just seems like almost on an angle, and you get plenty of sunlight from one side and then to the other. It's just, even at Richie's place, same thing. That's why I'm just throwing a theory like.
Well, it seems like to me that the angle of the trail, the game trail, is going to matter significantly, because they're going to want to, basically, you want the deer to not notice you until it walks on by you, and then you come up from behind and nail them. Right.
Now, here's a question from Courtney. I'll read it out loud. Courtney, I'm going to try to decipher this code. Hang on. I had said this before. I know I might not be wording it right, but I wonder the type of Bigfoot might be in the same family. But do you think the structures can be from the same family to be identical? If that makes sense. Kind of makes sense, but so what you're saying, all right, so maybe this will help you. Some theory on, and correct me if I'm wrong, some theory on structures, there's perhaps different clans. So different clans of Bigfoot do different types of structures to identify that clan. Is that kind of what you're saying, Courtney? And if so, have you guys all heard that before as well? Everybody on the panel?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, how do you feel about that? Do you have that out your way at all?
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I mean, it's a good theory.
Right.
It's a good theory, but a lot of times it's just more about what's convenient at the time. You look at indigenous.
What they have
cultures.
to work with. I think if you had caves and rocks, you'd be
right
to get that for shelter. If you had trees, you can try to get that for shelter.
But what else? But what the hell else you got to do out in the woods 365 days a year? I mean, 24 hours a day. I mean, I play video game. When I leave here, I'm going to go play video games like I do every freaking night. That's what I do, right? So
maybe they're meditating.
maybe they're just doing something. Maybe it's a
I
game.
believe they are very spiritual.
Maybe they're over there cross-legged, meditating, hovering about 6 inches off the ground.
I like it. Let's build a hut. You know what I mean?
Or maybe they're like smoking weed, drinking beer, and watching Naked and Afraid. Who knows? I mean,
they're fucking tweaking, bro. They're tweaking. They're the tweakers. Sasquatch is a tweaker. That's what we discovered about it.
If you eat a tweaker while he's high, does that make you high?
I don't know. Me and Patty, by those stick breaks, we swear we had tweakers out in the woods.
Brian, so Brian, real quick on the huts. I mean, there's highways of deer runs in their area. It's just unbelievable. I never seen so much deer runs everywhere.
Oh yeah,
and so where these huts are, maybe like 60 yards of a rock wall, and then there's water right there, and then there's a marsh area. Well, anyways, as we were looking at the huts, I mean, I found a deer shed right there, and I found that kind of like interesting to find a deer shed near these huts. Like,
right?
What was it, guy? Probably about 40 yards.
Yeah,
50 yards.
And everybody I showed the hut to had no explanation, including Alex Petikoff, and he stated clearly in his text message, I can show you that I don't put much into structures, right? And I'm like, I'm fully aware, bro. I'm talking as a survivalist, as an outdoorsman, as somebody who's been all over the country, North America, and has camped out professionally, basically. He's a professional camper. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think? He's like, humans do weird things. That's one of the things he said. He didn't say the word tweaker, but I guess that's the same thing. But but he goes, I can't explain. Basically, I can't explain those. Not verbatim, but that's basically what he said. He had no answer for him. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I mean. Like, Courtney noticed that at the bottom it was bent, and that was the biggest thing that we talked about. And the best comparison I have is like you boil a carrot to soften it, and you kind of, or maybe a cucumber, I don't know, and you can kind of bend it a little bit. I don't know how they did it. There's no markings on it. I never say maybe we should investigate them a little closer at the bend and see.
Maybe they could heat it up with their hand or something. I mean, maybe they don't know. A lot of heat.
I could imagine having so much strength they could just take the fibers and just do what they want with them. Yeah, they just do what they want with them, right?
Maybe they just pee on it and it makes it flexible.
Magic pee, magic tweaker Sasquatch pee. All right,
they all gather to pee.
This is like the story in school that you whisper. By the time it gets in the classroom, it's a totally different story. Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
I should do fiction for a living. I'm telling you.
And also, the one thing we didn't get is where Wojo, we were looking at the hut, and across from our hut, there's like an ambush tree.
Yeah, there was the ambush tree. Yep.
Yeah.
And there was a piece of the branch sticking in there too, so it was almost like Wojo was standing in there where you dropped your bat, right? And you couldn't even see you there, and it was right by the game trail and right across from that hut.
Yep, it's crazy. I wasn't there for the second one, but yeah, that's the same type of stuff we even see. Now, we're finding different things with bent trees on my property now, Brian. Me and Wojo have gone out twice or whatever. We showed the Burks when they came down. And it's the same type of style where it's bending up like this. And these unanswerable, you can't answer them. And you're like, where'd that branch come from? Because you're looking everywhere to find it. And you're like, it basically has to be placed. That's the same area, actually, when the snow was frozen. I have it on my YouTube, is the footprint with a little bat next to it. But you can actually, it looks like a foot to me, and there's toes and everything. Everybody else that I've shown looks like a foot. So
I don't see the toes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Even my 13-year-old, I held it up to him. I go, what's that? And he's like, he goes, looks like a foot, Dad. Well, I go, why? And he goes, toe separation. And I said, really? And I got so proud. I said, I'm proud of you, dude. He goes, I learned from you. He picked it up on his own. I didn't guide him anywhere. I just showed him a picture. But let's watch this video right here, because this is very slim. First of all, it looks like Wally when he fell. It looks like Patty when she got up. And then it looks like me when I lay down in it. So it's kind of making me feel warm. It's making me feel warm, and I want some hot chocolate.
This is a really short video.
Yeah, well, that's the story of my life.
Wow. That may really be evidence right there, guys.
Look at it. Right?
That's
wow.
That
may really be evidence right there.
How tall are you, Brian?
The devil's advocate has nothing to say at this point, because I was convinced, at that point, I was convinced that there was something highly suspect about that thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
That's on purpose. That's on purpose, and it's not some magic fucking whirlwind, not magic whirly snow. You know, I don't even know if you get
tornadoes.
Snow. No, yeah, it's not a tornado or a micro burst. Nothing's broken there. It's made on purpose, man.
Brian,
Richie,
how tall are you?
That was a video of you. I thought that was a video I took of you and ours. You have that one?
I do somewhere, but look at the comparison.
Yeah.
Look at the comparison of these two huts.
Because with Brian in that hut, I mean, Brian, how tall are you?
That was I think that was his teammate. Was that you, Brian?
You're 6'1"?
That was Eric, and
yeah.
Eric, okay.
Eric's a lot taller than me. He's like 6'3", I think.
He's 6'3". That was him in there.
Yeah.
He looks small in there because, like, if you look by his feet, you know, I'm watching the video. It looked like he had like another 4 feet beyond where his legs are.
But is this one is yours deeper like a tunnel, Brian, as opposed to wider?
It went back in about 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah,
and it just kind of curved off and whatever. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. It was just, you know, it just looked like a dome tent or something that you just cut the front out of.
Yeah, well, look at it. Look at the comparison. The one on top is ours. The one on bottom's yours. And then what stands out to me the most, actually, and it's going to sound a little strange, is the leaf litter on the bottom. Look at it. It looks like the exact same beds, like they bought a mattress at the same store.
Yeah.
And even the doorway. Look at the doorway.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable. One's in Oklahoma, folks, and one is in an unknown location in Massachusetts.
Yeah, but it's I mean, people are like, well, tree structure. I don't care what people say. I just find things like this amazing. This, you know.
But explain it.
But I mean, who can do like one of us cannot be out there and sitting there like try to bend things down, snapping trees straight across.
Oh no,
trying to read with your big fat hands. It's just impossible.
It's impossible to happen. And Matt Moniz put it best: if it's humans, where's the fire pit?
Right.
No kidding.
Where's the fire pit? This is going to take a little time.
In the beer cans.
Right.
You know, I just want to add that we find arches similar to the arches that's basically the superstructure of this thing in the wood all the time. We find them
we find those too, like a doorway.
But what if those are just older ones that have already decomposed, you know, and then the live trees are the only thing that was left, the arch.
Or the ones that they break. I've got evidence that they broke. The big dream catcher I have. Beautiful dream catcher. Me and Wojo found it, and it snapped in the middle, and all the beautiful sticks that were on it are all scattered apart. Like he was pissed off that I found it.
Straight, I mean, like right. I mean, you can't get any in the. You know, it's like smack in the middle. And we're talking what, a 4-inch stick.
That tree's bigger than that.
Yeah, a bit bigger than that. I mean, it's just
probably double that.
Just like we were. I mean, I was like pulling on the tree. I'm like, that thing's just massive. It's just so so strong.
Let me see if I can find some stuff. You guys keep talking. Stuff might pop up, but just don't worry about it. I'll figure it. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right.
Sounds like a personal problem. Things pop up.
It's not a problem at all, sir.
XYZ.
Yeah, that's it. What's this one? Just the Woj. Oh, that's the big X. You got a lot of those out there, right?
X.
Yeah, that is a double X.
We get a lot of those. I mean, most of those can be explained. Right. But every once in a while, you'll run across one that has a root ball attached to it, and you're like, "Whoa!"
But do you ever see them from? Do you ever see the tops of them balanced on other little skinny trees?
Yes.
My 40-foot X is a 40-foot X, perfectly symmetrical. It doesn't meet as high as this one. It's perfect, and the tops rest on these little barkless, skinny pine trees.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the strangest thing, and I have a hard time believing that the magic whirlwind placed it on two trees, one 40 feet apart from each other. I just have a problem with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Sorry, I just do.
Tweakers.
Hey Brian, do you find any kill sites, or do you find many bones?
Ooh, good question.
Like that?
Well, I have not found what I would consider to be like a boneyard. I know a guy named Jack Carey who
I know Jack. Yep.
Yeah, we're he's from my area.
Oh,
my sister gets around.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wally.
But he stumbled on one recently, and
Nice.
I haven't found one that I found to be mysterious. You know, there was an abundance or a plethora of skulls and broken bones with snapped, main bones and stuff like that. I have not discovered that yet. Now I have found kill sites with broken bones before.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
So, but not what I would call. You see these people that they stumble on the killing field or
Bone
whatever.
pile. Yeah.
Right. Kill site. Yeah. So look at this picture here. Right. I have an updated one. Not an updated. This is an updated one of the suspended tree above me. This tree. I got other pictures. I'd have to find them, but it's a needle and thread. It goes right through the Y on the far end. Right behind it is the dream catcher. I have it all over my site. Actually, I have it up as a background right here. I can pull up as a background. The dream catcher is big, beautiful structure. Right behind me, do you see that thing that looks like the letter A broken in the middle? It's behind my right hand, or your left if you're looking at me. There's a broken tree. It looks like the letter A.
Yeah, I do see that.
Do you see that?
It's kind of pointing up now.
That's the dream catcher.
Yep.
That's the dream catcher. I got another picture of me standing here, and the dream catcher's behind me. And it took me forever to figure it out. And I should have brought it tonight. I didn't know we were going to get this far. But it took forever for me to figure it out. I actually figured out with Mojo. I was like, dude, that's the dream catcher. Like I was trying to look for it for years, Let's see if there's one in here.
Some of the pictures too, Brian, is that, let's say like Richie's right there. And we will come back maybe a few weeks later and stand at the same spot. Yeah. And we're noticing that they're replacing the structures with, I'm like, Richie, what's going on in here? Like they already been here. It seems like, all right, you just did some art. You're bored of it. Let's get rid of it. I'm going to put something else.
There it is.
Yep.
There's the dream catcher on the left side. That's the dream catcher completed when we first found it. Look to the right side.
Oh my God.
See the letter A?
Yeah. Looks like the arch is missing too now.
It snapped. You see what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Is that a kick-ass comparison to prove that they break their shit?
Yeah. That's a good picture.
Well, it's pretty common to come up and find these tree structures that have been added onto or taken down.
Correct.
Moved, this, that, and t'other.
And I think this proves that theory.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Well, nothing's proven, but it's very fascinating.
You can prove theories, sir.
Oh, you can. But
yes,
you're gonna have to work.
It's a theory. So I proved the theory. I did not prove facts yet. I will though. I'll get them. I'll drop some crack. I'll drop some crack in a pipe.
How big? I mean, what's the
looking for?
Is this like over like a 30 square feet area, or is this a bigger area with other structures?
Well, I believe this. All right. So you see this picture here? You see the big tree going through the letter Y, tight up against the birch tree. I call that a needle and thread. That is the far side of the suspended tree above me right there.
Right.
To my left. So I consider that a structure. I don't believe Mother Nature picked this up and put it through that hole. No chance. Highly doubt it. Look at the birch tree coming up on the left. And then you got the letter Y, and that tree in between the birch and the letter Y is the suspended tree.
And Brian, a lot of these structures, what they're doing is it's just how it intertwines with other trees. No tree can fall straight down where it's going to come through the right and then to the left and maybe a right again to these trees.
Right.
But for once, we found one that the bark was scuffed. So you can see that he must have, whatever it did, a lot of force that came down. And that was actually one of the huts that we found in Richie's place.
Yep.
And then the following week, this one branch that we were talking, me and Richie know about, it was woven in the very top. It was snapped off.
Yeah.
And then this other tree came straight across because it was like a deer run. Yep. And there's another hut that we found like maybe about 40 yards away. But the stick, came completely across, completely like in between these trees, and you can see the scuff marks. And he really pushed it right down. And remember, Rich, we tried to, me, you, and Jess try to lift it. It was like no way.
But that's the beauty. But that's the beauty of that, because Jess, my fiance, was her very first, investigation, right? And she walks up to that thing. Do you remember the one that had the box stuck in the crack of the tree?
Yeah.
And you had to push it down and roll it.
Yep.
In order to put it in the position it was in.
Yep.
But there was bark from the tree that it rubbed down against.
Yep.
But it was rolled away from the tree. It literally grabbed a piece of evidence and said, "Here, find me." And she looked at it and says, "Well, if it just fell down naturally, how did it catch that tree all the way down here, get all that bark and wrap it up into the crack and then roll over this way?"
So
real quick, there's no way that's possible. But
no.
You got to answer his question, Wojo. He asked about the size of the area, and is it more structures?
Yep. Go ahead.
What's your answer? Yeah, you could. We find these two, I believe, are together. That was my point. That the arch behind me, the dream catcher behind me, and the suspended tree are two different structures. And around this area is a shit ton of it. It's right near the high school, I call it. It's all medium-sized shit broken. This is a bigger one for a big boy, but it's like they're teaching their juveniles how to do things. You know what I'm saying? And then you go right, but then you go to another area there, and I haven't seen it in a while, but I used to find little structures, like little tree things. It's like lean up all around trees, like a little teepee. I'm like, I called that the kindergarten. I had them all over I got pictures of it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wojo. I just wanted to answer the man's damn question. As you were.
Can you please stop yelling at me? No, that's just Brian. Like we found this one hut where the tree was off the stump, and it was like where the stick where this tree was, it was away from the stump like another 12 feet. We took a picture of it. The following week, came with his fiance Jess. The top of this main tree that came over is broken.
Oh, it's gone.
Then I went to this. I know exactly where I stood and took the pictures. I took the pictures, and down below there were these little saplings like this, and it was just like this. In the next picture, there was a branch that came in and just intertwined, mysteriously woven in, just sitting there. And I'm looking at Richie. I go, "That was not there from before."
Oh.
And if you look above, I mean, there's really nothing above us.
Right.
And like I said, you just find it when you pull it. I mean, you got to really pull it. So, that's why you just find strange things that we know that what they're doing is taking down their own structures and maybe teaching their young. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hard to say what they're doing. Sometimes I think they're arboreal and they're up in the trees moving around, and sometimes they get a tree that ain't gonna support their weight, and they bend it all the way down, and
right,
break them, and they're but I don't know. I mean, Eric is the guy Schrader in my group. He's the more of the trees. He finds these broken trees and trees that have grown in strange positions to be fascinating. He's got a whole library of pictures that he takes.
I'd love to see those.
Yeah, he's got a specific camera that he takes with him. He keeps in his chest rig, and he takes photos of those. And he's under the impression that, it's not. I don't think he's come to any conclusions yet. I don't think
it's hard to,
but what he's doing is he's compiling data,
right?
So that later he can take all of these photos and basically come to some kind of conclusions or something. It's kind of like his pet side project that he does. And, me, I'm over here worrying about video and stuff like that. And Eric's got his own. Yeah, Eric's got his own agenda.
No, that's great. I think it's great. I think that's brilliant. I would love for him to share that because I got like even this picture here. That twist there is like a 360 twist. This particular twist. This one they wanted me to cut off and send over to Cliff Brackman, his museum in Oregon, because he loved this twist so much. Dave McCullough showed him, so he's like, "Hey, I got to ask you a question." And at first I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea," and being the young. And then I started thinking about it. I don't want to take that away from them. Like that's theirs. You know what I mean? That's not for me to touch. You know what I mean? And to me, I just feel so connected and spiritually like that. I wouldn't give it away. You know what I mean? So I just kind of let the conversation die out, because I just didn't want to do that. But hey, Rich, how are you, man? Shadow Side Paranormal Research Society's here. We got my buddy Ronnie. The picture of the sticks, there is no way those. Oh, the ones that were leaning up against it, I'll find that. Yeah, it was just right here.
Hey, Brian, I got a quick question for you. Do you follow Hellbent Holler on YouTube at all? The couple that goes down.
Well, there's only about 6 different groups that do actual field research anymore. You got to follow them.
It's true. They have a video to your point about the burial. I can't say the word. Bigfoot. They have a video. I think they were in the LBL. And as she pans, you can see something swing through the trees. I don't know if you saw that video.
I've seen that one, yeah.
That's on. If you go on Alex Petticoff's Strange Places that he's got now, his new venture, he goes right to the LBL.
With them. That's how
he hangs out with them. Yeah, he hangs out with them.
But they have a video where you can see something swinging in the trees. She catches it for a second. She didn't mean to catch it, but it's something swinging pretty high up. I think that's pretty interesting.
Probably a juvie.
What?
I'm guessing it's a juvie.
Most of the time, when they're making mistakes like that, it is. I made a lot of mistakes as a juvie,
I did all that, but they didn't have the internet back then.
Right? There's the dream. That's the dream catcher. That's the dream catcher, the one I showed you that was broken. This is it in its beauty.
It's a good shot.
Isn't that amazing, dude?
That is so beautiful, though. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
But Brian, like in the center, you can see how, like the rooted, like the small branches, how it's like all tied into a ball. In the middle of that, it's just.
Thank you, Cody. It is really. Do you see what this is here, Brian? This is a field guide to Sasquatch structures made by a gentleman up in New Hampshire. Is it or Vermont? Vermont. Christopher Noel. He had a lot of controversy and stuff, but he has a really cool book.
I'm sure he did.
And this is he went right out there and put it out there, and I'm sure he got pissed on, but
I'm sure he did.
but this cover, look at the cover, bro. Look at the cover. Yeah. Like it's right here. The cover is like the thing in my backyard, man. It's very. I mean, you got to have a little something here. You got to rent like a police officer. You get all this circumstantial evidence. What's that?
I said kudos to the man for sticking it out there. I mean, if time goes on and we find out that just 2 or 3 things of what he said in that book were right,
right. Yep, like your friend. If you do like the Jane Goodall and you kind of watch them in their natural habitat and you start saying you check it off that list because he's got that database, you go, "Yep, that was Sasquatch. Yep, that was nope, that wasn't. Yep, that was Sasquatch." You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's all about. Like that's what you got to get to. I mean, look at this shit. Like this place is weird, man. My place is weird.
That is weird,
dude. You got to come to my house. I'm telling you, the place is nuts, Brian. You wouldn't even think that, like, compared to the vast open areas of Oklahoma or whatever. And I know you mentioned one was near the city, but you come out here and you don't think of it. And then you step into the woods. Patty, how'd you feel when you first stepped into my woods?
Oh, it was definitely a feeling of being watched. And yeah.
It's how about you, Wally? You were the first time, right? You were there the only time?
It was weird. Yeah, definitely a different feeling. Yeah.
You just don't expect it as you're approaching, though. And then you go past that tree line and the temperature changes, the light changes, right? Oh, yeah. You take a couple of steps and you're like, oh, get the willies. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. And then, it's got so much energy out there. It's amazing. I love it. Well, Wojo, how'd you feel about your first time out there?
Yeah, I just had a strange feeling. And then, after walking and finding all these structures, I just felt like something's watching us. Right. It was just like one thing after another. I was just blown away. I mean,
well, you also aren't bringing up the fact that we had tree knocks, we had rock clacks at the same time, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's not just the tree structures. It's a whole
of
evidence that's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got it up on YouTube the other day. I put it up, and I think it was like 4,000 hits or something. And that big double slam that we got, Wojo, right? When we were standing by the water, and you hear bang, and it just reverberated right through your body. I was like, "What was that?" And
I think people have to understand we're not just walking around looking at weird trees in the forest.
No.
We're finding sounds. It's right.
I mean, you're trying to investigate like in all points of the area, and we keep finding different stuff. I mean, Brian, I've been out there like over 11 times now since November with these guys, in a lot of different areas, and you just find different stuff. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I know Courtney had a question, and I think it was a good question. Like on these.
Oh, I got it right here. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Oh, Ron wanted to see. I think it's these sticks you wanted, right, Ronnie? This weird ass looking thing. It's crazy. Maybe like I asked before that they take it down because of us, so we can't try to figure them out. Patty, answer that question for her. What do you think?
Yeah, it's drawing attention, right? I mean, we're out there looking at it. We're in their space. Maybe if they take it down, we'll go away. I don't know how they think.
Maybe that's the way they communicate to each other too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're just frustrated. They just,
like
stop breaking things.
They stop breaking shit. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Like the Bruins suck, and they just destroy the trees. Makes sense.
My buddy Eric, he says that the Sasquatch are really into bonsai. They're just not real good at it.
Oh,
it's awesome.
Where's that, Bobby Lee? Where's that? Oh, you want to pop it in? This is the LBL that you're talking about.
That's a crazy place.
Is that LBL?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. Bobby Lee, she says, I queued up the swinging LBL Bigfoot if you want. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, let's see it. Make it big.
Here we go. It's a fun show, isn't it? Oh.
It looks like it's jumping from one tree to another.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think that was filmed in New York.
Is that the baby?
I couldn't tell you.
That's the baby. That's not the same one. That's the baby Bigfoot in New York. You're right.
It's the baby one.
Oh, that's not the LBL. That's why it looks so grainy, because I think the LBL is more like a shadow, but it's clear and less pixelated, right? But that's a kick-ass video. They never debunked that, right? They never debunked the baby Bigfoot in New York, right?
I don't know.
There's always people screaming hoax, but it don't. Unless you've got some kind of evidence to say it's a hoax, then you need to shut up.
Yeah,
I think with AI nowadays, even with video, you're not getting in the far.
Dude, I'm not trying to plug my own stuff, but when I went to the LBL last summer, I found right off of the road this insane tree structure, and I was just driving, and I looked over, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And it's in my first LBL video. And there's you just pull up and there's all these broken trees, and and I can't imagine why a human would do this. I mean, the volume of physical labor that would have went into that, and it was literally right off the road. I mean, I saw it from my car, and I got out and I took some video of it, but it was big trees. And I'm thinking I need to go back and rewatch that, because at the time, when you're at the LBL, it's like, it's a whole different world, man. And
I got to get there.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got there and I went and I was alone.
Yeah.
And I was a little overwhelmed, man. I'll be honest with you.
Not for nothing, but you seemed a bit spooked. To be honest, I
would be.
I always try to play stuff down when I'm in my videos, because I don't want to be one of those YouTubers like, oh, what was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you hear that?
I mean, that
there was a sound.
That stuff just pisses me off. But I was on edge just about the entire time I was out there. And it's not even legal to carry a gun out there, and I was carrying. It was like, I'll go to jail.
Yeah, isn't that weird? There's no guns out there, none.
Yeah, but you can hunt,
right? But I mean, what's the sense of that, bro? What's the sense? Don't even get me started with the LBL because I get pissed off about the whole backstory. I want to slap people.
Oh, I know.
There's bunch of government bullshit.
Wrong with that.
So my boy Shadow Side says something about mimicking. Shadow, I believe his name's Rich. When we were out with Phil that time, I was telling them the story earlier. I was telling Brian the story earlier. I thought I heard. Remember, I kept saying that could be a mimic. That could be a mimic. I absolutely, and some of them they're better at than others. I believe owls they're really good at. I don't believe so much with birds because they still have that guttural whistle. You know what I mean? Like a bird kind of has an echo instrument sound.
Too deep.
Yeah. There you go. Too deep, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was interviewing.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I did. What is that?
Rich, I think what Ron's trying to say is the picture that me, you, and Mike were out. Little stack of sticks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will.
That's not me.
Is that me? Hello? Are you here? I can hear me in a different frequency, I think.
Sounded like someone was chomping on something.
No, I was hearing voices. Am I dead? Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm dead. What the hell happened? Just sitting mind of my own business, man. Did nothing different.
Yeah, that LBL place is amazing. You should go. But I would take somebody with you. I mean, I got there. I found this remote camp. I got out. And about the time I was setting up camp, I know it's going to sound crazy, and I didn't have an audio recorder deployed yet or anything. I heard wolves howling.
Oh, really?
Shit. Yeah, like legitimate wolves.
Wow. In Kentucky.
And I was just like, no way. Absolutely no way. I just got here, the sun's going down and everything. And then I got everything set up and I went for a walk, and I was walking down this trail, and it would literally hadn't been dark that long. And I just kind of got the heebie-jeebies. Like I felt like, I was screwing up. I don't even think I was carrying a gun at that point. I just gotten out, and I just, I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go walk down this deal. And so I started walking down that trail and filming. But when I got back home and I was, editing everything, there's this weird background noise, a static, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I've had people reach out to me since then, and they've told me that is infrasound.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting to get sold on the infrasound. The LBL, Mary, is a land between the lakes. Brian, you could probably tell her better. I have someone asking what the LBL is.
Well, it's a piece of public land that is in between. It's half in Kentucky and half in Tennessee. Correct. And it's basically, there's these two rivers that kind of go and then they go around it, and they've gone in there and they built hydroelectric plants or something. They've dammed it all up. So there's these long, skinny lakes that basically surround the whole thing. So to get into the land between the lakes, you have to go over these bridges to get in there. And it's beautiful. But I'm telling you, you can feel it. Like your sixth sense gets going. And I swear it gets dark 30 minutes before the sun goes down over there.
That's the same as the Hockomock Swamp, the Bridgewater Triangle. And Al, if you remember, if you watch the episode of Strange Places, he brings up the comparison to where my property is, the Bridgewater Triangle. He brings that up. He tells the gentleman, I think it's from, what did you say, Haunted Holler or something? What was that place? Is that their names, Patty?
Oh, Hellbent Holler.
Hellbent Holler,
The thing too about the LBL is there's an infamous story about a dog man killing a family there, right? Yep. So there's a lot of dog man sightings down there. There's is the lamb? What is the picture of that creature holding that dog? Was that from LBL? Do you know the one I mean, Brian?
I don't know. What creature was it? Do you know? Was it like
it looks
the
like a dog man. It looks like it could be like a mix between a Sasquatch and a dog man. It's holding that little white dog under its arm.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I've seen that photo. It's kind of blurry.
I've seen that photo. I've seen that photo as well. Yeah. I see. That's not the one by the tree line, is it?
Yeah, he's in the tree line. It's pretty. They took it pretty far away, I think. But I think that's from LBO.
That place is. I don't know. When he compared it to Bridgewater Triangle, Brian, you know a little. How do you feel about Dogman now that Patty brought that up? I heard you. We watched your video about that. Yeah. What's that?
They're real.
Yeah, you saw one, correct?
Yeah, I've seen two.
Two now.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Two. Wow.
Now, Dogman, like, how tall would they be? You know what I mean? Like when they stand up.
The second one I saw, I can't imagine how tall he'd be if he stood up. I was pretty fortunate. I never saw one stand up and start strutting around on two legs. I probably would have lost my shit.
So when you see them, are they? I'm not to interrupt, but are they galloping? Like, are they crouched like this, and they look like a dog and a man while crouching?
The first one that I saw, I didn't know what I was looking at. It was basically like it was in the middle of the road, and I was driving, and it was focused on something in the bar ditch. And as I pulled up on it, from a distance, I thought it was a black lab, maybe, or something. But as I got closer, I started realizing it's like, that's not a dog, because like the body was too long to be a dog. You know how like a mountain lion has a long body?
Mm-hmm.
And that it kind of had a longer body. It didn't have a mountain lion tail, but it had a real bushy black tail that was, about normal for a dog. And about the time I rolled up on it and saw it. Now I know what it was. It was one of those hyena type dogmen, but it was all jet black. It didn't have the hyena markings. It was jet black, but it had the shortened muzzle and it had the stumpy ears. And
was it angled up to the front?
I was getting a total broadside view.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when it realized that, it turned and it looked at me, and then it bolted into the bar ditch and into the deep grass.
That's crazy, dude.
And I didn't get to see it anymore. But the second one, and this thing, it was a pretty good. I mean, I would say that thing was 220 pounds.
Shit.
The second one I saw was much bigger.
Really?
Yeah, it probably went 550. This thing was as big as a cow. And it just looked like a black wolf. It looked like a giant black wolf with a really wide chest. That was one of the things that stood out, was it had a really wide chest, and its upper torso seemed to be bigger physically than its haunches. And because when you look at a wolf, a real wolf, and you look at them from the front, they're so skinny when you look at them straight on.
Yeah.
Their legs almost touch when they're walking,
Right.
And this thing here, it was like wide. There was like, I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time, but it was like really wide, muscled up, chested. And,
yeah. Did it see you?
Like, yeah. Oh,
did it see you?
It saw me. I was driving, actually.
Okay.
And it took off running at a 45-degree angle away from me, and it was hauling ass. But the butt was lower to the ground than the front end.
Right. That's what I was kind of asking, if it kind of does that.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard when they're down.
Yeah. It was.
Almost like how a hyena runs,
Yeah, hyenas.
I don't know how hyenas run, but I know.
No, they have that angle where their front's higher than the back. Come on, you're a Southern boy. All your pickup trucks look just like it down there. What are you talking about? Huh? You know what I'm talking about? Does it look like a Southern pickup truck running through the woods?
But Brian, I saw that video, and what's amazing how you were describing this animal. But just looking at the valley where it was sitting down, just like, just enjoying the sun and then describing how he just stared at you for a while and then just took off.
It really didn't. It went by pretty quick. I mean, I was coming down through there and I looked over, and at first I looked at it and I was just, it's like, dang, that's a really big dog, and. Right. And then, you're just like, dude, that's massive. That's huge. That's, that's a freaking gorilla,
So now you're telling me I gotta get into this friggin' dogman shit.
I know. Same here. I'm like, what?
Brian, really?
They're out there.
Listen, I value what you say. We like having conversation with you. You're not all like you said. What you got? There it is.
That's what
we got. Dog man?
Yeah.
He put a dog man on his shirt, people. This is getting serious.
It's my love,
right? Buy the merch.
I don't have any merch. I ain't got time for that.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. The dogman thing's been hard for me to grab. You know what I mean? And now hearing it from you, well, if you say that they're there, they're there.
Well, I'll tell you this. Everybody. So first of all, the name dogman is stupid, and it's
a different type of dog.
Well, it's misleading in my opinion, and okay. I'm probably gonna get ahead of myself here, but I'm actually fixing to take a leap. And I'm going to make a video probably this summer because, and basically what I'm alluding to is everybody wants to, make this creature out to be something that's a cross between a man and a wolf. And I don't think that's it at all. I think it's probably closer to like a giant raccoon and a wolf.
I've heard this.
Like the Otter Man, right? Is it the Otter Man?
Like Otter Man, this is nuts.
Yeah, but
it's more believable. It's more believable than Dog Man.
Yeah, I don't think there's any human DNA in this thing at all. Right. I mean, the ones that I saw, if you hear people talk, they say, oh, it had hands like a raccoon. Well, ding, 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 ding. Raccoons, when they stand up, on their hind legs and stuff, they've kind of got a chest like us.
They have pecs. Yeah, they have pecs. Yeah.
And they got the long, skinny arms. They'll describe, long, skinny arms on a lot of these creatures.
How does raccoon taste, Brian?
I've tried raccoon.
Listen, I got some Southern brothers, and my blood's in the South. I just never had. First time I had frog legs was in Mississippi. And I go to eat them, right? And everybody goes, "Oh, they taste like chicken." I'm like, "Yeah," until you hit the spinny thing in its bone, and it's weird. It's like it's like a spring, so it's shaped like I went like this. So like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. Down here, there's some redneck that'll eat it.
I think Wally's had raccoon.
Well, you've eaten raccoon, Wally?
No, I haven't had raccoon. No, I've had other stuff, but.
Well, you're right there at the road. You just go out there and shovel it up and throw it on the old grill or what?
Yeah, I wait for the bus to go by.
There you
awesome, go. Stay away from the skunk, though.
No, I have a friend that actually picked up roadkill.
Yeah, hey, Rick, Shadowside has, I've never heard of Goliath in the southern New Hampshire. Maybe Patty or Wally might have. They're closer
I haven't, actually, no.
Yeah, Jason Morse. Is it a documentary named after Jason Morse, or is there another name for that? Is it called Goliath? If you get us a little more information on it, we will absolutely research that. Oh wait,
we'll be in New Hampshire,
we got Sam. We got Sam over here. What the hell? I am southern. Ain't no raccoon.
Sorry, Sam.
No.
I love Sam. Sam, you're a gift.
Yeah, Sam is amazing. We got a lot of them. Courtney and Sam and Bobby Lee. I got a whole bunch. Mary, my sister. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah, if you could find out the information on that, his name's Jason Morris. And probably look it up maybe on YouTube and find out what that is. I'd like to know more about that. They have a specific. That's kind of neat, right, Brian? They have a specific Bigfoot that they named 9 foot 10 inches tall. How they know that, I don't know. But or maybe it meant 9 or 10.
They got markings on a tree.
Yeah.
Hold still.
Stay there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they named it Goliath and did a documentary about it. Now, tell me as a researcher, is that not interesting to find out? I'd like to see more of that. Right?
We could road trip that. Brian, come on up. We'll go find him.
Yeah, we'll go find him, man. Let's go, man. And I know this Bigfoot over here in Vermont. His name's Steve. You know what I mean? Like, right? We're out there doing house like Steve. What you want?
Keep it down. I'm having a fireball.
Yeah, no, that's these two. Those are the Fireball twins. Yeah, the tweaker. Tweaker Steve. Steve tweaking again? Oh. Yeah, let's see it. Yes, it's, what does he mean? Bigfoot witness. Yes, it was marked by a tree. How the hell would you know that? What do you mean? Did he hit his head off a tree or scratch it? Or I got to find out about this shit. It says,
unless they took a specific picture and let's say there's a branch that, the first branch starts and
right. Yeah, there's ways of doing it.
People do those recreations.
Yeah, but that was very specific.
So it's not that guy that got raped by him.
Oh, I saw that on the Inquirer, man.
Yeah, did you see that one?
Well, that's all, folks.
I'm pregnant with Bigfoot's baby.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. So you can answer the mystery question of what's in its pants, right?
Everybody wants to know.
Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, how many Siamese twins of Bigfoot you gonna see out in the woods?
True about your feet, right?
But Brian, I mean, I admire like your work and
yeah, 100%.
Do you like tactic wise when you're out in the woods? Do you do like tree knocks, whoops, or anything? And if so, do you stay in the same place, like kind of like still hunting?
Well, we do occasionally. We don't really do tree knocks so much, but we do occasionally. We'll do like a solo whoop or something on the wall, but we don't do it over and over and over again like some people do. It's like
I can get carried away with it when it doesn't fucking answer me. I get pissed off. But
I know
I've had that. Listen, wait. In my defense, it's the same family and they bottleneck, and we've had these arguments before. So it's a little bit different where you're probably populated more and probably light a fire and have them walk in on you. We can't. I don't have that vast area to work with, and I know I'm working with a specific three. That's the ones I know I'm working with. You know what I mean? And by the sound, I can almost tell which one it is. So I'll be on a tree. I'm out there by myself. I'll hit a tree. They hit back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I'm coming into your house. Here I am. And I go out walking. Just let them know that I'm there. You know what I mean? Or I get pissed at them because they're not fucking answering me.
Yeah. Well, we don't really do a whole lot of tree knocking. I mean, I'm not against it or anything, but hell, knocking sticks just more shit.
Now, do you do any night research or do you do a lot of day? Or?
Well, we've kind of shifted gears. We didn't used to film a whole lot of our night stuff that we did because, you kind of got to be set up for that. And I wasn't really, I'd taken some night footage and stuff, but here recently, I've just kind of gotten to where I'm getting a little bit better at taking that kind of footage. So we're putting it out on YouTube, but we've always done that kind of stuff, walking down roads at night. But here lately, we've been really trying to sleep during the afternoon and get up and be awake, as much during the night as we can.
Gotcha.
And, a lot of times we'll do like a walk or sometimes like this weekend, part of the plan is we're going to go to bed early. We're going to pretend to go to bed. And because this thing seems to come in like after we go to bed, it's almost like it's out there waiting on us to go to bed. And then it slips in.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Well, it's probably like they've been watching you the whole time anyways, and they just want to get a closer look of what's going on. And
I just go with I would go with the theory of no underwear, my friend, and you'll finally get what you've been asking for, right?
No underwear.
Oh yeah. Well, we're already going back to that location where I think it's called It Came Into Our Camp or something, and it's the one where it walked right up on Coleman in his tent.
That's where you are. That's where you're going.
That's where we're going. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so dude, tie a stake to your back, bro.
I'm jealous.
Every time we go down there, we have some kind of activity.
Brian, take one for the team and wear like a steak necklace. Take one for you'll go, dude. You'll be so famous. Look at that. There
hot
it is.
dogs.
No, I think that's amazing, dude. Well,
bring a Snickers bar. Want to get away?
Well, we've been trying to use Coleman as bait, so. We'll see. Eric and I have a plan for this weekend. So,
oh God, I know he's not listening to my little show. You're safe here, sir. What is it? No, I'm just kidding.
You know that spray butter that you put on popcorn?
Oh yeah,
we're gonna mist Coleman down with it.
Oh really? That's not, hey, you know what? That might not be a bad idea, as funny as it sounds. Right?
Hey, maybe, who knows? Make some French toast with some, some brown sugar and some syrup.
You guys,
has anybody ever made popcorn out in the woods?
No,
it's been years.
Bobo has.
That's a
you
good
always
idea
burn
too.
that stuff, man.
Yeah, but you put bacon bits in it. You put bacon bits in it and pop it, and with butter, and he might come in.
I would.
I'd come in.
I'm already on my way. I don't
know. Richie, if we go out there, we'll set up a barbecue. Hopefully they'll come by.
Yeah, we got to show these people how to do it right, bro.
Yeah.
Your belly and my belly.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Proof positive. Right?
We've got a plan for this weekend.
I can't wait.
I need to leave out some. I probably need to leave out some kind of food.
Right. Do you do gifting stumps out there when you go to a regular place? Do you have a gifting stump?
No, we don't have a gifting stump.
Yeah.
The problem with this place is it's so far away.
Right.
It's about 5.5 hours away from me.
Jeez.
And, yeah, it's going to be a long drive.
How many days you going to be there?
We'll be there we'll come back. I'm leaving tomorrow. We'll be back on Sunday.
Oh, that's a good trip.
Okay, bro. So you need to get that gifting stump going right away, right when you get there.
Yeah, I don't
make an offer to the woods like I did. They listened. I'm telling you, they brought me a piece of lichen, bro. It really worked.
Well, I talked to them too, but
right, you're like me. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
I don't yell at them though. I mean,
Richie yells at them.
Yeah, get off my property. I mean, that's.
We've got some plans. We've got some plans, and we're working on some lighting situations to where when we pretend to go to bed, I'm hoping that we might be able to get just enough ambient light right before we do our fake. I've got some of those fire logs, that you can buy at the store.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one of those on right before we go to bed, which we're not really going to sleep. We're just pretending.
Right.
And I've got these little GoPro cameras that I've got them set on car mode. A lot of people don't know this, but you can get even the cheap Chinese GoPros. They have like a dash cam mode that you can rig up.
Yep.
So as long as they're powered up, they're recording.
Right.
And if they're recording and they're just doing that, they're not putting off any infrared or anything.
It's like a digital. It's like a digital voice recorder, basically, right? You don't even know it's there, and then the motion will go.
I think through the front end back.
Anything. It's just recording.
Gotcha.
And
so the light will have to be.
There's no infrared trip deal for like a trail camera or nothing, but it's just recording. And if we can get the ambient light just right, we might be able to get some video footage of them coming in, moving around camp. I've got a couple of things that I'm going to leave out as curiosities.
Right.
Something that they haven't seen before. I've got a couple of ideas.
Yep.
And I'm just going to kind of leave them sitting out, because the last time we were there, Coleman brought something kind of unusual. He brought instead of bringing a folding chair like they see all the time, the camp chairs, he brought one of those dove hunting stools.
Ooh.
And it came out of the woods, and it came up and was messing with it because it never seen one of those before. I guess maybe he just thought it was odd. And so we're going to set out a couple of things that are just different. Something
that might be interesting is a mirror.
That's a good idea. I've heard people saying that before.
This is why researchers communicate. That's a brilliant idea, Wally.
Put the camera on the mirror, because you might see his reflection coming through the mirror.
Yeah.
And he can't see the camera or detect the camera.
All right.
Oh, we talked about that. That's right, because it'll throw him off from the camera. That's
true. That's interesting. I like those tactics, though, Brian. I mean,
I think it's great.
Definitely.
Great.
I can't wait to find out how you made out. I really, I'm pumped for you.
I'm jealous.
We got our fingers crossed.
How many have you had visual sightings yourself?
Of Bigfoot, kind of twice. Once was off at a distance through the woods. I actually got that on video, but it's definitely not worth bragging about. I saw it moving, and then when I froze and got out my phone, it froze, and I was alone again. You know, David Pilates tells you not to do that crap, but it seems like I always end up in the woods alone. But you know that when you are alone, there's certain things that you don't do, like you don't bum rush something that you think might be a Bigfoot. So, and
that's good life advice.
Yeah, I'm working on that too. I'm trying to get better at that.
It was probably like, I don't know, 70 yards through the woods, and it was in some deep brush, but I could see it. It was jet black. Nice. And then the second time, I saw one tree peeking, and this was about a year ago, and it was tree peeking behind us. Something told me, just, you need to look behind you. And I looked back the way we came, and I saw it leaning out from behind the tree. And
that's again why they say cameras on your back.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been doing that. Eric has got a body cam that he keeps on his back, and I've gotten to where now I'll walk with my camera, and
That's a great idea.
And I'll be looking over my shoulder, filming. Haven't gotten anything yet,
right?
But working on that.
We were talking about that as well, Woj. When I first got my GoPro, about that, I can put my hat on backwards with my GoPro and use my handy cam. You know what I mean? So, what are your thoughts on them knowing when they are being recorded? A lot of times, I don't know what the end means. I
think it has more to do with when you've got something in your hand.
Yeah.
I think when they see something in your hands, that's a weapon.
Yeah, they kind of freeze up and try to protect themselves.
I think they can see infrared, and I think they can detect any electrical.
Yeah, I think so. Frequencies, I think they pick up on them. I mean,
but their behavior is the same when you've got guns in your hand too.
Oh, 100%. The hand theory that you just said is spot on. I don't doubt that, but I don't have many fucking options. I mean, I kept wanting to put cameras all over my body and walk through the woods. I mean, it's kind of tricky.
Richie, I think like what Brian just said. I mean, me and Patty have a parabol.
Yeah,
you know, and you're aiming like this. Yeah, it looks like a gun.
Yeah,
right.
So if you keep it down, and then if you need it, then maybe kind of stick it out and try to be, at least you get some sound recorded, right? I mean, you got a knock recorded on that thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, you're walking around with a bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a freaking mini Jim Rice, bro. It's a mini Jim Rice Louisville, okay?
Well, it's in his backpack, so. But
Coleman's got one of those too.
Guy's picking on me tonight. Jeez. I argue with Bigfoot a lot. My bat
I'm getting
sucks.
tired.
I hold the camera.
Yeah. I gotta go to bed.
But Brian, it's like they are very helpful, like the parables, because when I was with Richie, we heard this the rock clacking at his place.
Oh yeah.
And it was going on for a while, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah.
And then I could hear light movements, like I don't know if he's crawling or is he just like. So something I didn't say nothing. I gave my headsets to Richie. I go, tell me what you hear. He goes, it's walking. I go, yeah.
I can hear it walking 100%, man. Yeah. And that it did help us in that sense. Do you guys do a lot of rock clacking? You hear a lot of them?
I've only heard it once, and that was at Hayburn Lake. And I mean, whatever it was just going to town. It was just clack, 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 clack. And you're just what in the hell is that?
Did you get to hear of the Burke's evidence of that and the recorders that we put out as a team? We talked specifically about the huts, right? Yeah. Maybe when you get back, we should do another StreamYard meeting. And I
want to hear his evidence when he comes back. Yeah,
but that'd be cool too. Well, yeah, we got to make sure. I mean, if it's something big, you ain't gonna share with our little fucking team. I mean, come on, who the hell are we, right?
You never know.
These northern bastards ain't giving us shit. You know what I mean?
These Yankees, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but
I don't know how I'm gonna act. I never found.
You don't eat raccoon.
Right. Well, no, dude. Well, hey, listen, we'll have a talk about what went on up here. Matter of fact, I got to fill the Burks in. It was absolutely freaking bonkers high school bullshit. It was crazy. But anyways, when you come back. If it's something that you want to share, well, let's have a meeting about it, because I want to show you that you listen to the EVP recordings, because we got to compare everything. You know what I mean? Like, I like having a team, out here. I'm reaching out to the UK right now. I'm talking to a guy in the UK. I want to know more about it internationally. I really do, and it's driving me crazy. I gotta like talk to people about. Oh, here we go. That's my producer. Wally's got to go to bed, man. Yeah, Wally's got to go to bed, but she gets excited about this.
I was gonna play that.
Yeah. This is recordings at night.
Whoa.
What was that word? Was that a sound? Was that a vocal? I never heard that before. What's that big bang? I didn't time mark it. I missed it. Oh, what was that? It was like a horse or something in the woods. Yeah. Did you hear that, Brian?
Oh, yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, here it is. There's the rock.
Dude, that's impressive. Sounds like it's hitting multiple.
Crazy, dude.
For hours.
Yeah, we got grunt. There's some of them that we put out. I swear you can hear like way off in the distance, and you have to listen to it. It blends in so good with the frequency that you're listening to that you have to convince yourself almost like, is that something there? And then you got to clean it up and play it back. And I believe there was 2 of them that we caught. And then there's definitely that grunt, that little, and then the snap of the tree that we had. But let's pop through some of this stuff here. What's this one?
This is this is a stick throw in the truck.
Oh yeah, they got a stick thrown at their truck while they're drinking fireballs.
We were sober.
You weren't sharing the fireballs, tweaker.
Just getting warmed up.
Friggin' tweakers.
You can hear the grunt when he throws it too. If you have headphones on.
Can I find it?
Isn't that like 2 minutes away or a minute away or something?
There's a long one, then a short one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Really?
Oh, what was that? Did you hear that, Woj?
Yeah.
That's me rolling up the window.
She's trying to protect herself. She's rolling up the window.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot runs up like, oh, and then stops. She's like,
yeah.
Oh.
Then pane of glass is gonna save me.
Oh wow. Me not know. Can't hear that one. You guys are kind of freaked out, huh?
Well, a little bit. It's like 2 in the morning. We're what, 4 miles in, Wally?
Wow.
Black.
We know
4 miles in?
Well, maybe 2.
No, it's a mile and a half, 2 miles.
Yeah. But that was a tough 2 miles.
All right, Joe. We got to isolate that one more. Always forget how loud this one is.
Jesus. That is wild.
Listen to snap. That's going to be something big, right? Fresh. It's fresh.
Blows through.
Knock. Hear the knock?
Yeah. Knock.
Free break. I can listen to it all night, man. Fucking love it. I love this stuff. What else we got? That was that weird squawk. We didn't know what it was. Right? It's from you guys way back. You brought it into my second show. I don't know. I missed it talking, but I still don't know what it was. Anyways, that's kick-ass, man. What a kick-ass show we had, huh? I love this, man. I love the elements of this, man.
Well, thanks for inviting us on, Rich.
Yeah,
listen. You're my team.
Yeah, definitely. Man. Thank you.
Well, not just that, but it was great. You know, Brian, I love your work. I love your videos, and thanks, you know, I've been telling some of my friends like who are trying to get interest. You know, they're kind of getting interest in what we're doing. I said, listen, you got to check out other people on here. I go, I'm telling you, what we're seeing and what we're hearing, it's happening out in Oklahoma. It's happening everywhere. Well, over here, some fella.
Yeah, what do we say, Wojo? What does Wojo say?
Buy the merch.
Buy the merch, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, guys. I had a great time
nice
here
seeing
tonight.
you, Brian.
You already met him before.
Yeah, it was nice seeing him again.
Oh, I thought you said
he said that to you too, man.
He said nice to meet him, right?
I think he said
no, I said it was nice seeing him.
He's like, pleasure to meet you, man.
Hey, Brian, be careful this weekend.
Hey.
Wally gets up like the crack of ass. But when you taking off tomorrow, Brian?
Well, it depends. I probably will sleep in a little bit, but I'll be up and around by 8, and depends on how much packing I get done tonight.
Right.
But
it sounds like a kick-ass time, dude. Be safe out there. Do your thing,
enjoy,
man. Keep working it. What I want to say here is, all right, let me go through the promos real quick. Alex Petikoff is my guest next Tuesday night. Woo!
Nice.
7. Kick ass, right? And then I'll talk more about this. I'll be up at the farm in June 22nd and 23rd doing a live podcast. Live and happening. And we're going to do a Bigfoot hunt with some legends, I think, afterwards. And don't forget, sign up. You got runsignup.com/Bobby Lee. She's out there.
Tough Rock.
Doing good stuff. Yep. Tough rocking it, man. Only 35 pounds, though. And then there's buy the merch, okay? But I want to say something to Brian, man. Thank you so much for sharing your research with us.
Yeah.
Because I think it's you. That's what tells me that you're like us. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to know, you want to work together, you want to get to the answers, and it's not all about, oh, I found something, I can't tell anybody. Like, we just shit. Look how much we've learned from each other already, dude. We've already learned so much from you, and I just appreciate it. And I think it's something that maybe you can expand on in your area and reach out further and, have these types of meetings with other groups and really try to compare notes. You know what I mean? And I think we're learning that the terrain that they live in makes everything different. You know what I mean? Just like here. Like I said, I think the comparison I used was like, you live in Antarctica, right? You build a snow house, you live completely different, right? You live down in the Caribbean, right? You build a grass hut and you live completely different, right? Yeah. So I just think that's what we're dealing with. So I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank my team, Burks, Wojo. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and sticking up with my, hanging with my crazy ideas. Wally, thank you for staying up so late. You need to get to bed right now, young man.
I know. I gotta.
Wally gets up at like the crack of dawn or something to go do some crazy work on roofs, and we always lose Wally. We lose Wally for like 2. There he is. He's gone.
Gone.
He's gone.
He's headed for bed. But thank you so much, everybody, for attending this beautiful event. I feel like it was an event, right? Yeah. Saturday night. Yeah, right. Saturday night, I have Tosin Goes here, Megan, and then Tuesday night, a week from tonight, I have one of my mentors, Alex Petikoff. So make sure you join us. Make sure you follow. Brian, where can they find you, my friend?
Man, I'm on YouTube and Facebook. That's my primary existence. I'm also on TikTok, but just look up Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations on YouTube and you'll find the rest of it. The Facebook is kind of like my focal hub where we dump a bunch of information and I repost videos that I think is funny. It's where I shared this link for tonight. And awesome. But we've got a pretty nice little community of people there on Facebook that they're always tuning in and helping and sharing if they find something they find interesting. Every once in a while, you stumble across a YouTube video that has some real meat and potatoes in it, and we try to share that kind of material, there, and try to thin out the fluff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. A lot of fluff out there, exactly, right? Too much fluffinata, as we say here in New England, right? Right, fluffinata.
Too much fluff.
Listen, if you're over on Brian's link and you're watching, man, communicate with us. Feel free anytime to reach out to one of us.
Well worth it.
And we'll do the same with you guys, So let's do this again, Brian. Not just hopefully you come on my podcast again, but I think that keeping the line of communications out, maybe some findings, because I sometimes, honestly, I've been out my yacht a couple times since the last time we spoke, and I was like, I wonder if Brian has this in Oklahoma, because that really does pop into your head. And for me, it does, So like I said, I'm interested in the international aspect of as well. And if I can draw some interest from UK and stuff, I'll bring you guys back on and we can kind of compare notes with them. I think that'd be kick-ass. Yeah. So if you're out there tonight, man, like and subscribe to my YouTube. It's Banter with Richie B. Like and subscribe. And nope, you don't have to like and subscribe to TikTok, but definitely follow me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. All the same name, okay? 6 o'clock Saturday night Paranormal show, 7 o'clock Cryptid show every Tuesday. And again, next week, Alex Petikoff. Don't miss that. It's going to be huge. Thank you so much, Brian. Be safe.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you, Wojo. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Wally, wherever you are. Was that? Showing my age, Miss Calabash or whatever it was. Thank you, everybody on the side, for attending. Thank you for my amazing producer, Bobby Lee, and thank you for my family for putting up with my shit. I truly appreciate that, okay? And we'll